I think it comes back to that the idea of if you're offering value without necessarily an expectation of anything to come from that, and that's definitely the most authentic and in the long run most effective way of getting yourself out there.
We can basically say from our experience, just doing what we love and being aware of what's going on and try to connect with people and try to reach out and try to learn and just be who we are and do what we love. That is maybe the essence of it. What I try to really internalize at the moment is that it shouldn't be about the money. Because, of course, we all have to make a living. And so many of us, we started out as musicians and then transitioned into the sound effects, sound design industry because we had to make a living, and it was still close to what we love. And it is what we love. For me, for example, it became a real passion that I can equally enjoy, like making music. But I had like a discussion with Robert Dutzig the other day, and he basically said, like, the difference between you and me, you just mentioned the word job and the word money 3 times within our conversation, and I didn't. And to get into that mindset that, okay, it is a job, fair enough, it is something I can make a living of, maybe more easily now than with making music, still it is about the passion and the love I have for that. And that is way more important than getting the money. So that is something I'm really struggling with at the moment. And I want to get to that point, that. But it's so difficult for me because I have now this studio. I have like a lot of stuff that I have to pay for. And then just detach from all that. And for me, also believing in God, being assured that the provision for that is gonna come no matter what, there will be some food for me and a roof over my head. That is something I'm really struggling with at the moment. And I recall when we had a conversation, you also said like you were like thinking about what to do next and staying a freelancer or being employed. So can you maybe share a little bit about your like situation at the moment and how you feel about this topic?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a super valuable thing to talk about, and I do love that we sort of plan to talk about sort of all the technicalities of field recording, but we've really veered into the sort of philosophical heart of what we do, which is it's wonderful. Yeah, so I've moved from South Africa to the Netherlands just over 2 years ago, and in the interim also had a baby. Well, I didn't have the baby, but my partner had a baby. But so sort of caring for him and spending a lot of time with that. Being in a new country now, I'm really working towards just building up a network, building connections, and I'm in a position where I feel pretty happy about what I'm doing, but that there is a certain element of financial insecurity, of not knowing exactly, like my calendar is not booked out sort of 6 to 12 months in advance, and I know exactly where the money is coming from. I just sit with the belief that I do have a set of skills, and I have a network that has provided enough opportunity for me to this point, and it is often those I'll sit and get into a sort of fairly negative headspace of going like I don't know where it's going to come out, where the next bit of work is, and then luckily in most cases it's at that point that I get an email or a request of like, oh hi, we have this project coming up, are you available? So I'm at the point of being content but ambitious to sort of build my career a bit into something that feels a little more stable. That's my situation now, and it takes a long time. I've been here for 2 years. I mean, probably the first year I was very slow in terms of doing that because I was spending more time with family. But yeah, it's important to realize that those networks, those connections, and making a breakthrough into industry, it takes a long time.
And you have to put in also the time doing the craft, because you said, for example, first advice is like record as much as possible if you want to be a field recordist. And I can also say that for being a Foley artist, I was lucky, or like I had the opportunity to work as a full-time Foley artist in an employment situation. And the good thing about it was that they feeded me with work like day after day, like day in, day out, week in, week out. I was just busy recording every day for 8 hours. And I was lucky to get paid for it. And with my previous experience, I was also able to pull it off. But those years basically gave me the foundation, to what I'm doing right now. Maybe more teaching stuff or showing people how I do it. And still, there are so many things that I'm learning every day. And sometimes I realize people might not agree with you, how you do it. For example, I'm using that one foot technique, like I'm walking people with 1 foot. And that was not because I always wanted to do it like that. I was kind of forced to, because I never had a proper studio where you can use the whole of your body weight without destroying your signal. So I was kind of forced to use that technique with 1 foot. And I got kind of incredibly effective with it. And now that I have this room here, I can basically do it with both feet as well. And I tried that and it works for me. But people kind of challenging me into, you cannot use a 1 foot technique because that is being spotted by experts. Like all the A-list directors will hear that. And you cannot do it like that if you want to be on a A level. And okay, people tell me that, but I also incorporate that feedback, but still I'm internally convinced that my sounds are, good enough, even if I'm doing it with 1 foot. And I'm also confident enough to show it to the world, although I'm receiving this kind of feedback from the people I look up to. So it's only so much you as a person or I as a person can do in order to live, let's say, true to our purpose. Because I never got the chance to work on a huge, big Warner Brothers Foley stage, but I still made it kind of work up to a level that I could deliver sounds to, AAA games in a very unideal situation, but still I delivered it to the liking of my client. And that's basically the achievements that I was able to have in my life, in my career. And that's what I share. And yeah, so being authentic I think is the most important thing you have to do at this day and age if you want to expose yourself to social media.
Yeah, I think there's definitely different ways to achieve something, and there's the old adage of like, if it sounds right, it is right. There's no, I think especially I think game audio is also a bit more sort of shoot from the hip, Wild West kind of. Often schedules and budgets are ridiculous. You don't have the time to do it in the sort of quote unquote correct way. You've got to just get it done and make sure that it works. And I think there's a lot to be learned from the sort of correct way of doing it. But you've got to get it done and you've got to get it works for you.
So maybe to finish, I know we wanted to talk about the specifics and the technicalities of field recording, and I also think we did it in a way that we get those important learnings that we had personally out there for people who want to start out. So what do you wish for yourself in terms of you being a sound person and being involved in that work field? And what do you wish for the industry of the sound industry for the future?
Oh, you're coming with the deep hits this morning, like the deep questions. Yeah, for myself, looking forward to like more incremental growth, more connection, and working on more projects and connecting with more people within the industry. I just I mean, I think this conversation and our sort of like interactions have been emblematic of how I really enjoy sound people. If that doesn't sound strange, like I can't even think of an exception of where I've interacted with somebody who's in this work in this craft and isn't just has so many wonderful qualities that I really sort of connect to and often so generous with their time and information and sharing. It's a wonderful community to be part of, and I hope to continue to contribute to it. And on that note, I need to give a shout out to the field recording Slack. It's a fantastic, it's one of the most wonderful online communities I've ever been involved with, and there's just a wealth of information and camaraderie. We can maybe put a link somewhere that people can get in contact with that, and that's great as well because they always run crowdsourced libraries, which is becoming one of my go-to sort of sources for new material, and that just really prompts you to go out and record a lot more. So that I just want to continue to contribute in my way to the industry, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. For the industry as a whole, I think more focus and more care about the mental health of people that work in the industry, of recognizing that the stress placed on not only sound designers but especially in the game industry is severe, and having a lot of compassion for that I think is critical, and for people to take their mental and physical health really seriously if they're continuing to be in this industry. Beyond that, I think there's my viewpoint is not wide enough to offer a sort of opinion on what the industry needs.